won't you hop inside my car? On the expressway.
All right, Doc 103.9. Auto Show back. Chip Lyness along with Louie Herron from Louie Herron Toyota. And when we left, we were talking about not 72 months, not 85 months, 87 or 97 months.
97. It even sounds crazy to say, right?
Wow, 97-month financing.
Well, you can check this out at Yahoo at autos@yahoo.com and just click under 97-month car loan. Basically, the average price of a new car now is about 31 grand. Okay, now that's up about $3,000 in the past 4 years. But the average payment, do you have an idea what the average monthly payment is, Chip?
$375.
$375 sounds like the price is right, right? $375. Nope. Actually, the average car payment is between $460 and $465.
Wow.
Now, if the average car price is 31 grand, 460 to 465. I mean, if you take 31,000, 0% interest, you're not going to get 460 to 465. So the only way you're getting these payments, which believe it or not, 450 to 460 is, for a $35,000 car, is pretty reasonable price for the vehicle. The only way they're getting there is longer terms, okay, and lower interest rates. And the rates keep dropping. One of the things that you need to know about these extended terms, if you have subpar or even bad credit, these are not options for you. I don't know. Were you aware of that?
I knew it would be harder to get financing, period.
Yeah. Well, the finance companies, if you have really good credit, they have no problem taking your interest for 97 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have no problem. So these deals, these 75, 84 months, 97-month deals are only for consumers that have really good credit. In fact, Experian said that 17% of all new cars in the past quarter were between 73 and 84 months, and some were as many as 97 months. Now, 4 years ago, loans were down 10%, the loan terms. So there's been a shift somehow, some way, where buyers are wanting to extend 7 years, 8-year loan on an automobile. Now, in some cases, I don't understand why somebody would consider that and not consider a lease. What is your thoughts? Why would you go 8 years and probably not pay off the car?
Yep, that's a great point, Louie. And not only the average, I'll ask you, what's the average lease payment a month? Much lower.
The average lease payment's around $300 a month.
Yeah. Okay.
In some cases, on some of these subvented deals, you can get cars for $199, $179, $229 a month. I mean, you see Dodge, Honda, Toyota. Right. They all got these special deals, but these extra long notes seem pretty good, right? And ideally, they get those payments under $500 a month. But again, like you and I were talking off the air, one of the big prohibiting factors is it takes much longer to a point where you have where you owe less than what the car is worth.
Right.
I mean, here's the deal: when you go that long of a term, you're really renting that car. Most people are not going to get a title after 97 months, and furthermore, you're paying interest and you're paying on this depreciating asset for a 7 or 8 year period. Seems extremely tough. Extremely tough.
And to your point, then, if you're not going to own it, you might as well lease.
That's exactly right.
And have some options you wouldn't have if you ended up buying the car for 97 months.
Yeah, and so the thing you got to keep in mind is when you're spending money for 8 years, that money would be better spent on a mortgage or building up your savings account than sinking into a car, which is why I think leasing becomes so advantageous, because you could take that same car, that $31,000 car, lease it for $400 a month, and the difference of $465, that's $65 payments for 36 months. I mean, you can nearly save $2,200 in a savings account,
right? And
have $2,200 cash for down payment on your next car, pay a cheaper payment, and you're still probably not going to own the car anyways,
right?
So again, when you look at these crazy payments in these crazy terms, now I will tell you, some folks, to get payment relief, that's the only way they can get out of negative equity, is they roll $3,000 or $4,000 of negative equity into a car. They can't go 5 years because their $20,000 car becomes $25,000 plus tax. Now you're at $26,000, and now the payments, are $550, $580 a month. And they can't afford to do that, so they extend the terms to get the payments back down to $450, which is what their old car payment was.
Right, and then it's just longer to pay it off. But does the bank have some concerns about the depreciation of the car? I mean, it gets less and less valuable each and every month.
They only worry about that if they don't think you're going to pay the note.
Okay.
That's why they don't fear a good credit customer, because typically the credit history of somebody who pays their car, they're not worried. They know that customer will trade it before it's up, and they'll pay 61 payments of the 97, and they'll get out kind of scot free and just make some interest.
I see.
So again, we're talking car business, talking about new trends. I don't know if a trend for you to go 97 months is something you want to consider, but I would look at both sides of it. Obviously, if you need some payment relief and the car you have is not working out for you and you need to get out, or you have negative equity, that may be the only way. But if obviously, again, the bottom line is the best way ideally to buy a car is to pay cash. That way you avoid negative equity, you avoid any of these finance charges, but not many folks have $31,000 sitting under the couch.
I was going to ask you what percent, a guesstimate of what percent pay in cash, literally pay in cash.
You have 30% of our deals are cash buyers, but of the 30%, the deals that are cash could be home equity line, it could be a credit union deal. We consider all those cash if we're not doing the financing. Right. The check's coming from an outside source. Right. When you break down the 30% of the 30, you probably still have 20% recording a lien.
I see.
Somewhere along the way. So when we get back, I want to get into some of the promotions that happen at dealerships and how that benefits you, the consumer, in a few different ways other than the promotion itself.
I got you. All right, Louie, stick around. You want a deal? We'll tell you how to get one. It's Chip and Louie Auto Show every week at this time. We've got the latest weather straight ahead. More of your favorites next. This is Doc 103.9.